Hello, John Zimmerman with TabletClass Math. And in this particular problem, I want to talk about rates, ratios, and proportions. But I thought I'd kind of soup up this topic by involving a swimming pool. So here's our lovely pool, and here is a problem or situation that we can use to kind of talk about rates and proportions. But specifically here, what I'm really going to be focusing on is units of measure. But anyways, let's kind of get to our problem. So let's say we have this lovely swimming pool here, and let's say it holds 12,000 gallons. Maybe it holds more or less, but let's suppose 12,000 gallons, that's a reasonable number. That's how much water's in this pool. Now we have a pump that we're going to use to pump the water out of this pool, okay? And this pump, its capacity is 45 gallons per minute. Okay, so my question to you would be, knowing how many gallons are in the pool and knowing how fast the pump can pump water, how long would it take? Okay, so if you haven't tried this problem yet, of course I just gave you the problem. You might want to go ahead and pause the video and see if you can figure it out. Okay, so you have a pool with 12,000 gallons. You have a pump that can pump 45 gallons per minute. How long is it going to take the pump to pump out the pool? All right, so hopefully you can probably pretty much see that all you need to do is divide 12,000 by 45 and you get your answer. And that is correct. But I really want to get into how we work with units of measure here, because this gets to be very important, especially later on in more sophisticated, more advanced math, and when you use math in science, especially like chemistry, biology, definitely physics. Anytime we're talking about units of measure, you have to be very mindful of what's going on. All right, so if we have 12,000 gallons in this pool, okay, so let's write that unit of measure there, 12,000 gallons, and this pump is pumping at 45 gallons per minute. All we have to do is divide 45 into the 12,000, okay? So hopefully you understand that, and if you don't, just look for other videos that I'll be doing on ratios and proportions. So I'm kind of going off on a little bit of a tangent here, but I want to really focus on the units of measure. Okay, so this is 45 gallons per minute. So that's really what's going on here, right? And that should hopefully make sense to most of you. This is how we're going to figure out how long it's going to take to pump this water out. Now, if we look at this setup a little bit closer, okay, 12,000 gallons divided by 45 gallons per minute, really what's going on, let's look at this fraction a little bit closer, is 12,000 gallons divided by, okay, that's 12,000 gallons, correct, over 1, divided by 45 gallons per minute. So the way we would write that fraction, and it's important to know how we would write this, is this way, 45 gallons. Now gallons happens to be in the numerator, and per minute, that's a fraction bar. Okay, so that's really written in this manner, per 1 minute. All right, it's really important that you understand this. So you have 12,000 gallons divided by 45 gallons per minute. Of course, this is the shorthand way of writing it, but the actual fraction looks like this. Okay, so hopefully you knew that, and if you didn't, then that's good. Then you're actually learning something from this video. So let's go ahead and take the next step here. So we would write this now, 12,000 gallons, okay, over 1 times, right? Because this is a fraction, so we're going to flip this fraction. So this is going to be times 1 minute, right? We're going to reverse this over 45 gallons. Okay, so that was your next step. All right, so all we did was flip this fraction. Now we're going to go multiply numerators and denominators here to actually figure this thing out. So now we have 12,000 gallons, okay, times 1 minute. Let me just put 1 minute right here, over 1 times 45 gallons. We'll just put 45 gallons. All right, so now let's take a look at our situation now. This is where we're ready to go ahead and divide 12,000 into 45. And let me just do that real quick. 12,000 divided by 45 is 266.6. Okay, so I'll write that over here, 266.6, but 266.6 what? Well, the answer is going to be in minutes, but let's examine why. Okay, so we have 12,000 gallons per minute, and we saw how these units of measures are interacting, divided by 45 gallons. So you can see that we have gallons over gallons. We can cross cancel these. Okay, and it's extremely important to do. When you're working units of measure in terms of fractions, you can cross cancel these as like factors. Okay, and then we're left with just minutes in the numerator. So when I divide 45 into 12,000, I get 266.6, and then what's left is minutes. Okay. So this may seem a little trivial to you. Please, definitely, and trying to obviously stress that it's not trivial. It's actually a very big deal. And right now we're using gallons and gallons per minute. That's not so bad as far as units of measure. They're pretty straightforward. But let's say you're taking a physics class and you have much more challenging units of measure, like meters per second squared. Things start to get a little bit more interesting. So, anyways, hopefully you enjoyed the video and you learned something. If you liked the video, please follow me on YouTube. And better yet, I invite you to come on over to TabletClass.com, maybe try a free trial with us, and have a great day.